and welcome to the Little Drops of Wonderful channel, where I talk about all things knitting and crochet and craft and all of that wonderful stuff. This is the last, it is the last in the Strictly Vlog series, which is a series of vlogs I've been filming to coincide with the annual make-along that I run on this channel, the Strictly Sock Along, which is where we knit or crochet socks at the same time that the UK version of Dancing with the Stars, which is Strictly Come Dancing, is on. There's lots of prizes, it's lots of fun, and everyone is encouraged to cheat as much as they possibly can. So to that end, you don't have to actually watch the programme. So it's a lot of fun. My name is Ali and I am coming to you from Kent in the very southeast of the UK, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Starry Eyes Ali, and I vlog every week. Every Monday I release a new video over on my channel, This Little Wonderful Life, and there is a link to that underneath this video in the description box. One other final very important thing to say is that all of the revenue from these Strictly vlogs, so I think I've done 7, this one will be the 8th vlog, from the moment I film them up until the end of this month, January, except for this vlog, I'll give this a couple of months to build a bit of revenue, will be donated to my chosen charity this year, which is Crohn's and Colitis UK, which is a charity very close to my heart because I myself suffered from ulcerative colitis for many, many years before having a total proctocolectomy in 2012. And I bet you didn't think I would say total proctocolectomy in the first couple of minutes of this vlog. But that's where all the money's going. And so far, I did a little check yesterday, and so far all 7 of those videos, obviously not including this one, and we're not at the end of January yet, have raised just over £215, which is fantastic. But there's still another week or so to go, and obviously there'll be the revenue that this vlog earns as well. So I will keep you updated on that on my main podcast. And maybe I'll do a little community post as well, so you know. So thank you to everyone who's been watching these vlogs. The money comes from the advertising revenue, so if you've been letting those adverts play at the beginning or end of the video, or when you get the little thing pop up on the screen, I've gone all out on the adverts. Yeah, so thank you for letting the adverts run and raising that money. It's really, really worthy charity, and thank you. And let's get stuck in. It's going to be really good fun. I'm going to be drawing 13 or 14, I'm not quite sure how many prizes, from across the whole sock along, from the finished objects thread, from the comments under in YouTube, from the Instagram hashtag, and from the chatter thread on Ravelry as well. So there's loads of prizes and lots of chances to be in to win. I've drawn all of those prizes. I've got them printed out on a spreadsheet because I have to have a spreadsheet for just about everything. And I think we should just get stuck in. So I'll be putting lots of pictures and stuff up on the screen as well. Oh, and we're going to have a lot of fun hearing about some of the cheating that's been going on. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. I'm using my Strictly Sock Along mug, which was made for me. Oh look, I've got tea slipping down the side. Oh well, it's authentic. I'm drinking tea. Good old Yorkshire tea in here. And this was made for me by lovely Adele of Toadstool House Art. She's on Etsy, and I'll link to her shop underneath because she does all kinds of like wooden pins, normal pins, acrylic key rings, and it's all whimsical and lovely, and she does it all herself. She's an illustrator and she makes them herself as well. And she sells printed mugs, and she did this for me just because she's lovely. She helped me with the design of my Strictly badges, which I sell in my Etsy shop, and she put that design on a mug for me. And this is not going to go into retirement whilst the Strictly Sock Along is not on, of course. I'm going to use it all year round. It's gone a bit cold actually. Spent so long faffing about getting ready. So what a year it's been. I would say 2021 has been the biggest year yet. We have had knitted socks, we have had crocheted socks, we have had little socks, like tiny little decorations. We have had massive socks, like Christmas stockings. We've had a mixture of knitting. There's at least one person that made a pair of socks that had both knitting and crochet in it. We've had double knit weight, we've had 4-ply weight, or DK and fingering weight, depending on the terminology you use. We've had Halloween socks, Christmas socks, birthday socks, bake-off socks, October socks, because of course you can double dip and whatever other sock-alongs are going on. Hand-dyed yarn, commercial yarn, cotton, acrylic, wool, and everything else imaginable in between. So let's get started on drawing some prizes. I'm just going to go through them in order because I've drawn them all, and I used random number generator for most of them except for the rule bending, which I chose myself. And I'm going to talk about lots of rule bending and just choose a few winners. So let's just start straight away. So the final two categories that we're drawing from are the fabulous category, which is the overall category that we draw from at the end of the sock along, and the rule bending category. So the first prize for the fabulous category, you will be winning a cork pouch, which was made by My Favourite Things on Facebook, along with a Birk and Berg skein of yarn. They are Danish yarn dyers based on Finn in Denmark. And the colourway is gold, and a Narwhal's Creations stitch marker goes along with that as well, and that is from Loma and Echo from the Rogan Camp Girls podcast. So a lot of the prizes are already parcelled up, so I won't be able to hold them up to show you, but I have taken videos of them, so I will be putting them on the screen as I'm talking. And the winner of that fabulous prize I drew from Instagram, and it was quite random. I did my very famous Instagram random picking method, which is to scroll up and down with my eyes closed like this and then hit the screen until something comes up. And the winner of that is Jane B55. Yay! Well done, Jane, you've won that. So I'm going to say this once at the beginning. All of the winners who have won a physical prize and not a pattern prize, you need to email me. That's my preferred method. My email contact details are in the description box with your name and your address, and I will get that sent out to you. I'm going to the post office next week, so the sooner you get in touch with me, the sooner I can get it sent out. And if you have won a pattern prize, you will need to give me your Ravelry name if I don't know it already. So Jane, if you can email me with your address. You can contact me on Instagram if you want to, but email is easier, and I'm more likely to see that more quickly, if that makes sense. Okay, so the next prize in the fabulous category is the Sarah Jo Makes Charleston bag, and I've got one of these as well, and I used it for my Strictly socks this year, and it just I just love it so much. Along with an Elderflower Stitches Sockly Come Dancing skein of yarn, which I added to the prize parcel because that was the kind of official Strictly sock yarn this year. And I made my pair of socks out of that, and it was absolutely beautiful. That was drawn from the YouTube comments at random from underneath one of the vlogs that I did, one of the Strictly vlogs. And the winner that came up for that was Kim Hammond. And Kim, I recognise your name coming up a lot, so it was really lovely to see that your name had popped up as a winner. Well done, Kim. And the next winner, still in the fabulous category. I think I'll do them in order. I'll do all fabulous, and then I'll move on to rule bending because we can have a little giggle then at the end. Okay, so the next winner in the fabulous category is the Sarah Jo Makes Dark Blue Spotty bag, which I've already parcelled up, so hopefully I did take a picture of that, along with some gorgeous blue self-striping yarn from a Lonely Sock Lady, not to be confused with the Lonely Sock Lady. Lone is in Denmark, and she is a Lonely Sock Lady. And the winner for this was drawn from Instagram, and that is Collar Annie, who is Anna, and I think Anna, you are in Hungary, which is lovely to send a parcel to Hungary. So again, get in touch with me. I'm not going to say it every time. Don't say it every time. And then the next fabulous winner is the winner of a Coco and Flora bonfire themed bag with a matching holder. It's absolutely gorgeous. As with all of these prizes, they've been donated by extremely talented makers, and I thank you all from the bottom of my heart, because these are utterly amazing, generous prizes, and everyone that's won one is just so lucky. So did I say that was from Coco and Flora? From Eva at Coco and Flora. She has the Coco and Flora podcast, and she is just a delight. And this was drawn from Instagram using my random method, and it was Tink Hickman, who is Deb, and I think you're in the UK, Deb, and she's got an absolutely beautiful Instagram feed, and I enjoyed seeing her posts throughout the sock along, so it was lovely to see that she had been picked. Am I racing through these? Do I need to take a bit of a breath and calm down? It's just very exciting giving away all these prizes. Now the next one I haven't parcelled up, so I can actually show it to you. So the next prize is a bag of dreams from the wonderful Emma at Elderwood Craft. I have one of her very famous and exquisitely made sheep bags. Look at that face. This is so beautiful. Everything Emma does is just pristine and so professional, and Emma has just set up full-time as Elderwood Craft. So she is now a full-time maker. And you're going to be a very lucky winner to get this sheet bag. Let's pop it safely back in its bag. Okay, and the winner of that gorgeous bag is from the Finished Objects thread. It was post 44, drawn by our electronic friend whose name begins with A. And that is, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. I'm going to put a picture up. Campus in Angie. And she also, so that was just drawn at random in the Finished Objects thread. So I'm putting up a picture of her finished socks now. But she also had a great cheat as well. So it was kind of like a double whammy. And her cheat was that Gorka Marquez is from Bilbao, which is very near to where I live. So I knitted them whilst watching local TV programs made in Bilbao. Perfect. So that means that you are in Spain. So brilliant. Oh, these prizes are going all over the world. It's very exciting. Okay, the next fabulous prize is another one I can show you. It's an Autumn Batik bag from lovely Julie at So Unique, and she makes the most gorgeous bags. I have a few, I'm very lucky to have a few of her bags, and they are so gorgeous. And she's made it with this lovely, I keep saying lovely, this and gorgeous, because it all is. It's lovely and gorgeous. This lovely and gorgeous batik print, and then it's got the same print but in a different colourway as the lining, and then the same print but in a different colourway as the drawstring. It's so gorgeous. You're just gonna have to put up with me saying that a lot. And along with that, I've got another skein of Berk and Berg hand-dyed yarn, dyed on Finn in Denmark, which I've just managed to almost unskein. Hold on one second. There we go. So there's their label. And this is in the colourway Party All the Time, which couldn't be more perfect for a Strictly prize. So that's going to be all together. And the winner of this one was from the Chatter thread, and it was post number 417, and that was Laurie Lulu 327, and that is Laurie, and I think you're in the United States. She knit one pair of Strictly socks, and I recognise her name because she made so many amazing creations in the Ami Along that I ran, the Eldau Ami Along, which was a year-long amigurumi along for knitted and crocheted 3D things, creatures, toys, that kind of thing, all in 2021. And I've kept the thread open for that because it is such an amazing thread and people are still going strong in there. So it's well worth having a look. It's such an inspiring place to go and visit. So yeah, I'm really glad that you've won that, Laurie. Okay, moving on, racing through to the next fabulous prize. Okay, so this is one that's going to be sent to you directly from the dyer. It is Seabed. The colourway is Seabed 1. It's from Silly Little Sheep Yarns. She's donated 2 of these, so I'm going to draw two. I've drawn 2 winners. One each will win 1 skein of this yarn. One was from the YouTube comments from one of the vlogs, one of the Strictly vlogs, and that was Julie. Now I use a specific site that will draw comments at random, and it's just Julie. So what I've done, because there are no other details to identify you, so I've taken a picture of the comment and I'm putting it on the screen now. So if you can recognise yourself as Julie, please get in touch with me. And the second winner was from Instagram, drawn at random, and that was Crafty Sue 33. I don't know where you are, but I'm assuming your name is Sue. So well done. And if you could get in touch with me, and I will pass on your details to Veronica at Silly Little Sheep Yarns. Okay, we got any more? Right, 2 more fabulous prizes from the fabulous category, and they are both pattern prizes. Okay, so I've got 2 remaining pattern prizes that I saved specifically to give out at the end. So the first one is to win a pattern, and you can choose any sock pattern from Sock Witchery, lovely Lindsay, and it was Chatter post number 278, which was Tanya, what I created next to, of course I recognise, because Tanya often comments and often I see her name pop up in the thread. So Tanya, you can go and choose any one of Lindsay's patterns. Tanya knit 3 pairs of gorgeous socks. One was crocheted, and one was for her mum who's been poorly. So I hope she's back to her sparkly self again now, Tanya. I know you said that she loves Strictly and you like to watch it together. So now you can choose another sock pattern to maybe knit her another pair. And then the final pattern prize is from Becky Norman Designs, and again the winner can choose any of her sock patterns, and I drew a random winner from the finished objects thread, and it was post 180, Wendy DT, and that is Wendy in East Lothian, and I'll put a picture up of her fabulous finished socks here. So that is all of the prizes from the fabulous category. Amazing. And we've still got a ton more to draw from the rule bending category. So it's almost impossible to choose from the rule bending that went on in 2021. There were just so many brilliant twists on why you were allowed to knit on your socks during the Strictly Sock Along, even if you weren't watching Strictly or anything to do with it. And there was just, yeah, it was just a plethora of brilliant cheating tactics. So I've sort of picked out a few just to share with you so we can have a bit of a giggle, and then I've chosen, I think, 3 winners. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've chosen 3 overall rule bending winners. Okay, so the first cheat, I'm going to move over because I think I'm going to be putting up quite a few pictures. So I'll give myself a bit of space to do that when I'm editing. So the first cheat was Regina O'Palia, and basically she knit mini socks as like a tree garland, and I did say if there's socks they're in, so that's a pretty good cheat. But not only that, but she knit the most fabulous Strictly worthy socks whilst, shock, horror, not actually watching Strictly. I mean, that's not even cheating, that's just completely like overlooking the rules entirely. It's brazen, and her socks were fabulous, so I think she was allowed to get away with it, and I'm sure as you're looking at them you will completely agree with me. They are amazing, totally Strictly worthy. Okay, so the next one is Lee in Aberdeen. Hi Lee, and she is Lee Loves Yarn. I started this a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to cheat them in here too. AJ, sorry, someone just walked past the window and it caught my eye. AJ, who was one of the celebrity contestants in 2021, recently visited Aberdeen for a TV series, Emma and AJ Get to Work. And as I live and work in Aberdeen and have walked the same street as AJ, these totally count. Absolutely perfect cheating. Such a loose link to why you should be able to knit them. That is definitely accepted. Well done. Another one that caught my eye was Gogvida Gordana in Canada. I just finished my second pair of socks while I was visiting my dad, and he was kind enough to take out his harmonica, play a little tune, and he also did a little dance for me. Thank you, Dad, for the cheat. What a lovely dad to play you a tune on his harmonica whilst you were knitting. That's so lovely. I've got a harmonica. That's a random aside, and I have never worked out how to get a decent tune out of it. There we go. Next one that caught my eye was Bindij, who is Belinda in Michigan, and I'm never sure how to say the name of that state, so apologies if I've just completely messed that up. And she says, I found my cheat. I was knitting during church, brackets online, and found out later that I had dropped a stitch, just like the dancers sometimes drop their partners, so all of that knitting time counts now. And I liked that one because we had a couple of dropped partners in Strictly this year, or last year in 2021, in the most recent one. So I thought that was very good. And then the next one that caught my eye was Jobby Jane, which is Jane, or is it Joby Jane? There may be some Scottish people laughing now. Jane in Lancashire. My grand twins' socks are finally completed. My cheat being I knitted these whenever I liked, as they are siblings just like the fabulous Kevin and Joanne Clifton. Such a tenuous link, but perfect. So Joanne and Kevin Clifton were both professional dancers on Strictly and were brother and sister. Everybody, I think Kevin was one of the most named professional dancers used as a cheat during the Strictly Sock Along, I have to say. Even though he's not a professional dancer anymore, we all miss him. But does anyone agree, I haven't even mentioned the final yet, have I? Does anyone agree that the new dancer Kai, who danced with AJ, is kind of like the new Kevin? He's amazing. It feels like he's always been there. This will mean nothing to you if you don't watch Strictly, but I just love Kai. The next one is Socks Knits, who is Heather on the Isle of Man. I just had a FaceTime with my daughter about some Christmas things, and when I asked her where she was, she said in a supermarket in Grimsby. Well, Grimsby equals Kevin and Kevin equals Strictly. Therefore, knitting on my 5th pair of Strictly socks for the rest of the morning. And she also later posted another picture, which I'll put up, and it says, no need for a cheat this week, as Vintage Tinsel decided to go on a front row date with the Thing. So that must have been Halloween week. Okay, next one, Swims Upstream, who is Julie in North Carolina, who I've mentioned before. I think you won a pattern prize before, Julie. Pair 2 has been cast on. The sneaky cheat for this pair of socks is in 3 parts. The pattern is the Umbrella Sock by Kay Jones. Ali visited Kay recently, and Ali is hosting the MAL, so any knitting time counts. My progress keeper is a snowflake, which reminds me of the waltz of the snowflakes in the Nutcracker ballet, so dance related, and again, my knitting time counts, as I'll be thinking about ballet. And 3, the yarn is sparkly like dance costumes and disco balls. And again, any knitting time counts. Bam, cheat complete. That was very well thought out. I was very impressed. I went to see the Nutcracker at the very start of January. We went to our local theatre and saw the Nutcracker, and it was lovely. We really enjoyed it. Okay, so the next one is I'll just stop trying to say it and put it on the screen. Belinda. Your name is Belinda. And she did 2 things that I thought were really, really good. So first of all, see, she did a promenade through the park whilst knitting on her sock, and the picture that she put up was just brilliant. She just looked so happy in the park knitting her sock. And then there was another just gorgeous, it was such a festive picture. I just loved it, with the white Christmas tree and all the sparkly lights. And then she said, I'm claiming these as rose-coloured Christmas socks as my cheat, because one of the celebrities, in fact one of my absolute favourite ones this year, was Rose, who danced with Giovanni, and of course they won as well, which we were really, really happy about. So rose coloured is a reference to that. Oh, are you still with me? I feel like I am literally just jabbering at 100 miles an hour. I hope all the prize winners are jumping up and down excitedly at the moment. Okay, so the next one that caught my eye, Double B, who's Birgit in Switzerland. Here is my 2nd pair of Strictly socks for this season. They were mostly knit while watching the show. My cheat for knitting on them between the shows is the colourway is called What a Feeling, which is a colourway by lovely Ellie at Craft House Magic, and I was always singing and dancing in my head whilst knitting on them. These are all fantastic examples of brilliant cheating, so if you were on the fence a bit with how to get your cheats in, now you've got some really good examples to follow for next year, or this year, for the 2022 Strictly Sock Along, if you're intending to join in. Okay, Steph Lambourne in Wales. My first ever Strictly socks, so thought I would try something new. My first ever go at Magic Loop. Not completely in love, but not annoyed either. More research needed. Green lambkin yarn in Witchy Lund Stockings colourway, which I have knit 2 pairs of socks out of, and I absolutely love that colour. It's so lovely. Plenty left to make more, and I can't wait. It was lovely to join in this year. My toddler loves dancing, so I now have an excuse to watch it and dance along when she does. I have a lazy but all-encompassing cheat. I'm from the same town as Amy, and my partner and I went to school with her brother. So I'm good to go whenever I'm with my partner, or here, or indeed with myself. That just really made me giggle. Amy is one of the professional dancers on Strictly. She also suffers from Crohn's disease. She did a documentary about it, which is one of the inspirations for picking the Crohn's and Colitis UK charity this year. All right, moving on. Do you want to hear some more cheats? I've got 3 more cheats that really tickled me. Okay. Janet Yarn Taxi, who is Janet in Connecticut. It's not really a cheat, but I just loved this picture so much. I just wanted to share the picture because it was just gorgeous socks in snow. And what she said was, here you go, Strictly socks completed with a variety of knitting and coffee. My cheat, no cheat, just watched our American version whilst knitting. But I wanted to put it in because I just thought that picture was gorgeous. Right, so this next one is just too epic not to mention. This is probably the most well thought out cheat. Bonnie F920 was Bonnie, and you're in the States. Technically, I started this sock before the Strictly Sock Along began. However, I have several reasons as to why it should be allowed for inclusion in the sock along. 1, I'm a fairly new knitter, having just learned to knit socks earlier this year. 2, as a new knitter, I am slow. 3, I am left-handed and this can be problematic. 4, I started my cosy reading socks patterned by lovely Kay Janes of the Bakery Bears back in August. However, I had to put the sock down into the timeout corner because I couldn't make the knot stitch without a lot of swearing and sweating. I figure it sat in timeout until the Strictly Sock Along began. I should be able to enter this pair of socks into the sock along because the pattern is by Kay Janes, who is a friend to Ali. I've seen photographic evidence of the friendship. Also, both ladies are married to men named Dan who seem like nice gents, and I'm pretty sure the Dans would approve of the inclusion of my sock based on reasons 1, 2 and 3 above. I should also be allowed to work on it at any time based on the fact that if it is a pattern by Kay, friend of Ali, and reason 2 above, plus I'm in the US and can't watch Strictly. Did you get all that? That was like a novel. That was amazing. Well done, Bonnie. I thought that was just epic. That was epic cheating. And finally, the last one that caught my eye before I announced the actual rule bending winners out of this lot was that lass. Oh, I haven't written down your name or where you are. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's why I haven't written it. But I think you might be in the UK. I'm not sure. And it says, finally finished my first pair of Strictly socks, my cheat. Ugo and Oti Dance to Bring Me Sunshine, a song associated with Morecambe and Wise, who by the way, I love Morecambe and Wise. I live in Morecambe, drops mic. It literally says, I live in Morecambe, drops mic. And that just made me laugh. So those are all the ones that I just sort of selected to share with you so we can have a bit of a laugh about it. Also, I could just talk at 100 miles an hour at you and put up pictures of socks. But I chose out of those 3 overall winners. So the first one was Belinda, because those pictures of her promenading in the park and that lovely festive image with the rose-coloured socks and her impressive rule bending, I think earns her a prize. So Belinda, you have won the Autumn Creatures bag from, again, lovely Juliet So Unique, and a skein of self-striping yarn from not the Lonely Sock Knitter. And I've got this here ready to go. So here is the yarn, first of all, from a Lonely Sock, not knitter, a Lonely Sock Lady. There's all the details. And it's self-striping, she dyes self-striping yarn, and it looks like this. Dan liked this one. I think he quite fancied me keeping it. And this is the gorgeous bag. Look at this, it's so cute. We've got this gorgeous woodland creatures, very autumnal, and it's got equally gorgeous autumnal lining on the inside. It's beautiful. So that is your prize. Well done for being a dastardly cheat. And the next rule bending winner that I chose out of all of those was that lass. I just loved it. I thought it was such a simple cheat, and I just loved the fact that you did your mic dropping at the end. And you've won a gorgeous bag from Conchetta at Butternut Handmade, and also a skein of yarn, and the colourway is called Harley's Last Hurrah, with a little bee stitch marker on it. Now that's all wrapped up already, so hopefully I took a picture of it and I put that on the screen. So you've won that. So again, get in touch and I'll get that posted out to you. So the final winner of the Strictly Sock Along 2021 and the final rule bending winner, can you guess? It was too epic not to win a prize, wasn't it? So Bonnie, who is Bonnie F and some numbers, put it on the screen again. It was too epic not to choose you as a winner, and you have won a bag from Dawn's Days and some of her hand-dyed yarn in the colour Wild Rose. Now she sent 2 bags and I did agonise for a while, but in the end I chose one for myself, and this is the other one. So I chose this gorgeous one, which has got all the birds on it. And the reason I chose this is because Phoebe fell in love with it. She just absolutely loved looking at the birds on there. And I was sorely tempted to keep the other one, but I had to go with Phoebe. So you've got this amazing bee bag, and the fabric, I don't know if it's going to come up very well on the screen, but it's really gorgeous texture to the fabric. It's lovely, and it's got this lovely bee print. And where's her label? There's Dawn's Days label. Dawn has rebranded her podcast. I think she, oh, look, sorry, gorgeous yellow interior there. Love that. The Woven Almanac she is. That's her podcast, the Woven Almanac. So I don't know if she's still Dawn's Days as well, but she definitely got the Woven Almanac podcast. And she's also sent some of her hand-dyed yarn, which is so pretty. Oh, sorry, it's not, it's called Antique Rose, not Wild Rose. There's her label. And this is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon in Antique Rose. Again, nearly kept this one, but it's just so pretty. So well done, you have won that. And that is all of the prizes. Can't believe it's all over for another year. I'm going to have a very big trip to the post office next week, I think. And I just wanted to say, now that we've come to the end, thank you so much to Lindsay of Stitch Create Love. She donated the profits from the sale of all of her sock patterns during the sock along to Crohn's and Colitis UK. And thanks to Gemma from Gemma Asprey Designs, she raised over £100 by donating a percentage of her Folksy shop sales during the sock along and all of her Ko-fi donations during Vlogtober. So don't forget, I'll link them underneath, don't forget to go and show both of those makers a little bit of support to say thank you if you are able to. And thanks also to Susie at Elderflower Stitches for dyeing the beautiful Sockly Come Dancing colourway, especially for the sock along. And to every one of the amazing makers who donated the most generous prizes, which just makes everything so fun and exciting. And to every one of you that joined in with the sock along and was silly and had fun. Sometimes I wonder how ridiculous what I do is, sitting surrounded by yarn in my living room talking to myself into a camera about things that many people might see as quite trivial. And then I look at like the FO thread and the chatter thread. There's like over 1,000 posts in there now, I think, and I just see the joy and the silliness and the friendship and the support and people lifting other people up. And I think, and that's why we do it, isn't it? That's why we do it. And we've raised a little bit of money for charity along the way. So yeah, same time this year. Thanks for watching. Oh, and I'm going to have to obviously do some obligatory end of Strictly Vlog chicken footage to finish off. So I will see you in the next podcast, which won't be very long at all. Down. Oh. So I thought for this last Strictly vlog that rather than show them something they don't want, we're going to give them something they really do, because they've had to put up with socks and 10 paddles and all of it, haven't you? So now you're going to have some lovely nutritious banana. There you go, pigs. Oop. Hay's run off with stuff. There you go. Oh, yum.